The 90s. A time when dial-up internet was a novelty, the Macarena was a dance craze, and Blockbuster Video was the place to be on a Friday night. It was the golden age of movies and video games, and for two young dudes named Jose and Kyle, it was the beginning of a lifelong friendship. Welcome to the Blockbuster Dudes podcast, where nostalgia reigns supreme and the popcorn never runs out.
It is us. We're back.
The Blockbuster Dudes, his dudeness, and
El Duderino. And we're in a little bit of a different setting. We're actually in our local cafe watering hole for all of our coffee and latte and breakfast needs here at Circa in Tyrone. Very awesome place if you're in the area and you're local. Tyrone, Georgia. Check it out. Circa Coffee and Antiques. We're in the antique half. The coffee half is there, but it is a very chill place. Great food, great coffee, great lattes, great foo-foo stuff, drinks that I don't do as far as coffee and stuff. But
don't forget great service.
Oh, yes, great service. Great service.
It is small town feel, but
yes,
very
calm.
Big time flavor and good calm. So absolutely.
Check them out, Circa, C-I-R-C-A, in case you can't spell it. But no, so we're here, we're just chilling, and we're actually having a good conversation, so we decided why not share with you guys. So, Kyle, in the vein of, old school Blockbuster days of employee favorite of the week, this week is Star Wars week because tomorrow is May 4th. You should be seeing this. Hopefully, I'll get it up tonight. But yes, May 4th
May the 4th be with
upon
you.
us. Yes, May the 4th be with you. Oh, and okay, funny segue about May the 4th.
Segue away, sir.
Segue is this. So I get home last night from work.
Okay.
And my son, Jaden, gives me a heads up that he's got something special in the fridge. I open it. Kyle, I haven't even talked to you about this.
What?
May the 4th be with you. May the 4th be with you. True Moo Blue Star Wars milk.
What?
Yes, it is. I kid you not. True Moo actually put out. Sorry for the bump in the table, but True Moo put out for a special, and it says Star Wars on it. Is a vanilla flavored, low fat milk, but it's got like a little thickness to it, so it's got that. But it looks perfectly emulates what Luke drank in the original New Hope, as well as The Last Jedi, the blue milk.
Wow.
So you didn't. So yeah, he didn't know that. So I tried it.
Left?
Oh yeah, he bought two. Here's the funny thing. I'm glad. It's funny that you asked this and he left. Here's why. So he bought two.
Okay.
By the time I got there, the first like a half gallon was already only a quarter left. Right.
Okay.
So I got to taste it, and it's pretty good. Like I said, it's one of those. There was something a little bit different. I mean, it's
a
vanilla
taste.
Yes, I will say. Well, from my opinion, yes. Okay. But he actually bought two, so he still has a full jug. So that way, I'm sure he'll let you try it. But he did state that they got it at Walmart. They were almost sold out, but other places, Publix like that, have already sold out. I didn't even know. Okay. I didn't even know it was a thing. I thought I saw a thing on it.
I didn't see anything on it. I don't generally look at milk, so
I saw
crazy, man.
Well, I saw a GIF on social media, and I thought it was someone made it up. It turned out it was real.
Okay.
So yes, if you guys are watching this, you guys want to have that Star Wars-esque feel especially for May the 4th weekend, True Moo Blue Star Wars milk. It's out there. It's out there. So get it while you can because,
I'm
like I said,
some. I promise you that.
It's already selling out everywhere, so you got to hurry up. Use it for it. May the 4th be with you in finding it. So
it'll happen, I promise.
I will say this, with this being May the 4th week and being, Blockbuster dudes that we are, and we have the employee favorites kind of topic that we, will come back to here and there. What? And yes, I know this is an evil question here. What is your favorite Star Wars thing? What I mean by that is it can be a movie, it could be an extended movie outside of the core universe, it could be the TV show, cartoon, anything. What is your favorite, or we can make it easier, of the movies, what's your favorite movie? Of the series that are out there, what's your favorite series? What's your favorite offshoot? So you can have a couple of favorites, but it's be like, so what's your favorite movie? And we'll say, what's your favorite movie?
Is this my questions to me now?
Yes.
Ready for me? Okay,
favorite movie. So favorite movie.
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, that one, we already knew that.
Sorry.
So Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, favorite, and when I say expanded, did you include, in that you're including like Solo and...
Yes.
Okay, favorite movie overall. Okay, great. Now, favorite series. Let's say live action to make it easy. Favorite live action expanded series.
Mandalorian.
Okay, good. And let us see. Favorite... I don't know if you watched any of the animated. Okay, so what's your favorite of the animated series?
I don't know how people feel about this one. I know most people go with stuff like Clone Wars, and Clone Wars was great. But
Which Clone Wars? There's
yeah.
see, a lot of people may not realize this. There's actually 2 Star Wars Clone Wars animated series.
There is.
And the first one, now this is where someone's going to argue.
I'm going to let you get to this because
Okay,
I'm
go
going to
ahead.
answer the question.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Mine isn't Clone Wars. I liked Rebels.
Okay, I'm with you on that one. I dug Rebels.
And
very
the
much
reason
so.
why is because. But tell you what, I'll hold that. Ask the next part of the question, and then I'll tie it together.
Well, the next part, the question is which series?
We already did the series.
Okay. Oh yeah. So I guess.
Then the next one is going to be
What's?
other item or object
Oh yeah.
Star Wars related. Well,
Okay. Go ahead.
since I asked myself the question,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the original trilogy of
Define.
hold on,
Okay.
of the novels
Okay.
written by Timothy Zahn,
Okay.
right? And that was the first Thrawn trilogy that was created,
Okay.
right? Introduction to Grand Admiral Thrawn, also to Mara Jade,
Mm-hmm.
and all things that have, for a lot of people, become Star Wars canon, even when it's not always recognized by
Correct.
Lucasfilm and Disney now. But those are my favorite, and that's why I love Star Wars Rebels so much, because there was so much of that tied into it,
Yeah.
and that, that was the winner for me. When you can, have that Star Wars feel, tie in the nostalgia, and hook me into other things that are connected to it, for me, perfect.
Oh no. On Rebels, like I said, I agree with you to every T on that. Because like I said, to your point, before Lucas relinquished his
Control and ownership.
but even still, even it goes back further. Before even Empire, with some examples, when things are considered canon versus not is always a fluid thing. Things were
fluid.
considered canon for many years, and then all of a sudden not. With J.J. Abrams said, we're ignoring all literature canon. Anything that wasn't in a movie,
They called
was
it
ignored.
Star Wars Legends.
Exactly. But we also know that it went back even as far back, with Empire Strikes Back. If for those of you who don't know, which I'm surprised most Star Wars fans know this, but for anybody who's younger, who's just getting into Star Wars, what a lot of people don't, you guys may not realize that in Empire Strikes Back, at the time that movie was written and shot, Luke and Leia, the idea of them being siblings did not exist. It wasn't prior to it. It wasn't until Return of the Jedi.
No, it wasn't. It was touched on in Empire, but the connection that I know you're referring to.
Yeah.
You're referring to Splinter of a Mind's Eye, right?
Correct. Yes.
All right. Splinter of a Mind's Eye was a novel written by Alan D. Foster that came out after A New Hope released, but before Empire.
Correct.
And in that, let's just say that relationship was explored a little more between what ended up becoming brother and sister.
And once again, like I said, even though it was signed off and it was considered canon at the time, the book released once again prior to the decision being made in the cinematic world and cinematic universe that they would eventually be brother and sister. So at that time they were not, and that book explored an alternate relationship that was never seen on the screen outside of uncomfortable kiss.
Right.
But anyway. But no, on Rebels, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and actually for a lot of the same reasons. Because, like I said, there were some of the books that I did like that I read on my own and I liked a lot.
Yeah.
One of the series I did like was the Dark Empire series, where Luke is delving into
the dark side.
The dark side, and not so much because he wanted to necessarily just delve into it. His reason is he's wanting to find some kind of. He wants to know what lured Anakin, what made Anakin not just go to the dark side, but what kept him there. So in a way, to know his father, he had to walk his path, and he did so dangerously. Good series if you ever. I'm not going to go too far into it, but then also there was the Han Solo trilogy, which definitely took a different turn. There were several, yeah. But the one I was referring to is where they've got the twins. They actually have 3 children, one set of twins and one that's not. And in that one, in that story, if I remember correctly, and obviously you'll correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm not mistaken, in that series of books, Chewie does eventually repay his life debt, saving Han's kids. So very, very tearjerker. Sorry, I know I spoiled it, but it's still worth the read, so you can go find it. But
he didn't spoil much because he didn't tell you how.
Yeah, no, yeah,
And the details behind it, which is ultimately what makes that. So
yeah.
You're still safe.
Yeah. So still go find it.
Light spoiler.
But going back, one thing about the Clone Wars. So a lot of people don't realize that you have the Clone Wars that was made popular from the Star Wars Clone War movie that then led into the series that was syndicated afterwards. But there was actually another Clone Wars series that was actually put on by Cartoon Network.
Yep.
Okay. Now in this one, it was not necessarily a series because the episodes, if you want to call them that, were only 2 or 3 minutes. They were basically like quick fillers, little things that were put in during Cartoon Network during breaks between other bigger shows. Well, it turns out that this was actually okayed by Lucas, and they even got the chance to get with Lucas and Lucasfilm because it was technically quote unquote 2 seasons. Okay. Now each season was only a total of about an hour and a half when you put all the time together. They basically released it on a DVD volume where they put both seasons together on 2 discs. So basically they cut all the little 2-minute episodes, they actually cut into one long setup, so each season was like maybe an hour and a half, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But for the second season, it had done so well, it had gotten so many awards as well, that they were able to reach out to Lucas. This is before Revenge of the Sith came out. And the reason I point that out is very pivotal because the reason why at the Revenge of the Sith, why Grievous has that cough and this and that, a lot of the missing story is actually in the season 2 last few episodes of Clone Wars. The last episodes of Clone Wars season 2 of the Cartoon Network is actually the attack on Coruscant, where they've taken Senator Palpatine or Chancellor Palpatine, and it's actually, so we actually are introduced to Grievous in the Clone Wars series, where he proves to be beyond formidable for Jedi. I mean, we see an episode where he takes out a crap ton of Jedi.
Setup and precursor to the film, so.
And it ends well, I don't want to ruin it, but it ends in, I'll say this. The ending is a direct connection to the beginning of episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So if you want to kind of get a little expanded universe, if you can find it, it's the Cartoon Network Star Wars Clone Wars. It is season 2 that does it. But look, the whole thing is a great watch, and it is not long. You will basically watch it in less than half a day. It's when you watch it, it's like maybe in movies or
sitting or 2 should take care of it. Seriously.
Exactly, yeah. But if you want just a little bit of a little extra, oomph, especially for Revenge of the Sith, you definitely want to take it up on it. It's really cool. So
that it is really good stuff. Okay, so now that we've established that, we went back. Mm-hmm. Now it's time to flip seats a little bit.
Okay.
My turn to ask you. Okay, so favorite feature film.
Favorite feature film. Okay. Well, here's the thing I'm going to say. I am going to say Empire as well, but here's why. And it's probably honestly it's probably the same reason. Of all the movies, Empire had the best, I'm going to say, story, because it was the most climactic, impactful episode. It's the episode that left my mouth dropped. My jaw was like, it really happened. Even though the name told you everything was going to happen almost. But you but
not completely. You didn't know the details.
Oh, no, not the details. But you knew that somehow.
And there was so much that was in there.
But what I liked about it is that it was part of a movie series where, for the first time, at least when I watched it as a kid, the good guy didn't necessarily win that round.
Oh no!
And I was like, wow. It really kind of changed. Really did a good set of storytelling and set up for Return of the Jedi, and even the rest of the series. But we all know the climax. One, not so much the climax, but the big reveal, which changed the course of everything.
Still, in my opinion, greatest movie twist ever.
Yes.
Period, end quote, full stop, done.
And in many conversations, one of which we are going to bring to you guys in a later episode, new segments, such as this is going to become a segment of Blockbuster Favorites, right? We have another segment that we're going to be starting up very, very soon called What Would We Have Done Different? Or how would we do it? Like your version of this movie. And we have actually had an ongoing conversation about Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Which we're both in agreement. I've told him certain things I didn't like about it. So we're going to bring that to you in a different episode, not today, but
not just Revenge of the Sith. It's the entire prequel trilogy.
Exactly, the entire prequel trilogy. But with what we're talking about with the big reveal in Empire, there would have our version. I would have had actually a similar reveal. Now, there's no way you can get the same impact because by that point, people are already looking for it, kind of thing.
Right.
But it would have been such a cool full circle impact that could have happened in Revenge of the Sith that didn't, but we'll go into that later. We're not going to hijack this episode. So
just dropping little nuggets for you to pick up later.
Watch it. So you have to subscribe to find these things out.
That's right.
To do that. So favorite movie, Empire Strikes Back.
Hit the likes, hit the notification bell even. That way you get notified when the new episodes drop. And you definitely won't miss it then.
All right. Next question.
Okay. So next one is then series.
Okay. Now,
live action.
No, I got you. So live action series. See, this one is actually difficult for me because don't get me wrong. I'm straight up 100% with you with Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, that's
animated. Okay, good. So good. So I can do it. Then live action series, I'm going to say, even though everybody's going to say Mandalorian, because they kind of did. Now, granted, Mandalorian, giving it respect, did set the bar for that expanded universe.
It definitely did.
All respect given to it. However, I have to say, Obi-Wan hit me in the feels.
Okay.
Though, seeing how it started and going through the entire adventure where we finally end up at, especially the eventual confrontation between Anakin Vader, Obi-Wan, just was such
the
a
Hayden
movie.
Christensen redemption.
Oh my God. Hayden Christensen finally getting the respect and love that he did not get during Revenge of the Sith, because during Revenge of the Sith, like when it came out, he got hate for Empire.
He got hit for all.
He got hit for Attack of the Clones. Sorry, I want to say Clone Wars. Attack of the Clones. I see. That's one thing with Episode 2 I would have changed. I would not have called it Attack of the Clones. I would have called it,
Save it.
Okay.
Don't get caught up in getting sidebar, man. Pull it back.
But anyway, I would have called it something different.
Anyway,
But no,
Obi-Wan series.
Hayden Christensen catching so much hate for his portrayal of Anakin in Empire. I want to say Empire Strikes Back, in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. But
say Episode 2. Save yourself some problem.
I know. Look, I'm old. Give me a break. But all these blockbuster tidbits of knowledge is just all getting confusing sometimes.
I bet.
But it's nice to see. I loved seeing him reprise that role, because my thing is this, and I said it from back then, and I say it now. Hayden Christensen's always been an awesome actor. I don't care who you are. Any movie he's done a great job in it. The issue with Episode 2 and 3 is this is probably going to be a bigger episode, so we're not going to go into it. But how do you follow what the original trilogy created? Okay,
I don't think that was the issue, though.
Well, no,
we've kind of talked about this before.
For sequels, I agree with you, but on the prequels, it's not so much you're following the story, it's setting up the prequel, but still trying to stay relevant, because you have all the different things like, hey, in New Hope, Obi-Wan said that Anakin was a starfighter pilot when they met, not some little kid, So just little things like that. But like I said, to catch back up to Obi-Wan, my thing is, I'm happy that Hayden Christensen was able to come back and reprise the role. And I'm happy that now, after a decade or two after these roles that he brought to life, he's getting the respect he should have gotten back then for it. Because, like I said, no matter what you were going to have, especially if it's such a new movie, you're always going to be compared to the original setup. But Obi-Wan, I think
that's big shoes to fill too, because you're not just filling the shoes of a character. You're doing something that's iconic, and you got to lead up to what becomes the iconic voice of James Earl Jones, which is transcends the entire series at this point. But speaking of Obi-Wan specifically, is like I said, I think one of the, like you touched on it and talked about it, is the fact that most people like a good redemption arc in a story anyway. This had a real life redemption arc mixed in with a redemption arc and storyline.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's something that's completely crazy.
Yeah. We had Obi-Wan
to have that real life overlap with it.
Oh yeah.
It definitely adds something to it. I'll agree. Like you said, hits you in the feels.
And
real quick though, I'm going to throw out, just because we mentioned stuff with Rebels and Clone Wars, and I know we're about to go there. But since we're still talking about this is the last part of the live action, I do want to throw out a nod to Ahsoka, because
I was actually just about to bring that up too.
Again, hits all the nostalgia feels. Hits the casting was phenomenal. Hits on very much like the Rebels show, and then I have to give my 2 thumbs up to Rosario Dawson, who I absolutely love. So
I can't unsee her now as Ahsoka,
right?
Exactly. But one thing, what I was going to mention about Ahsoka, is I was going to bring that one up as well, is because same thing, Hayden Christensen's redemption continues in Ahsoka. Because here's, I think what caught me with Ahsoka, even though I dug Ahsoka, Obi-Wan still got me in the heart, right? But one thing that just sent chills down my spine with Ahsoka is that we finally got to see Hayden Christensen exist as every version of Anakin. We finally got him to see Hayden Christensen in the Clone Wars outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, referencing that Clone Wars obviously is canon, but actually seeing him in it is just kind of like everything come full circle. Every dot got connected. I thought just as far as connecting the universe, I just thought it was a really cool thing that he got to be the Clone Wars Anakin, the cartoon Anakin, but in live action for half a second. But dude, I mean, like I said, it sent chills on my spine, especially where they're having that weird kind of not memory training thing going on. And as he's walking towards her, and he lights that lightsaber, and it's Anakin, but with a red saber. I was like, that's what I wanted to see in Revenge of the Sith. I wanted to see no mask Anakin with a red lightsaber.
Hit that feel. Yes. That was good. Okay, so the next one, animated series.
Okay.
Take it away, sir. Tell us what you got, man.
So,
you've already kind of let out a little nugget.
No, yeah.
You agree with me a little bit on Rebels.
I agree with you on Rebels. Well, no, but I was mixing Rebels and
Obi-Wan.
So with Rebels, I dug it. Like I said, I gave it the same setup. But I do have to say that I did. It's kind of weird because there were certain, like the Tales of the Jedi animated.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like every episode,
no.
But there were certain key episodes that were like, damn.
That was good.
Damn, yeah. But on the overall, I agree with you with Rebels because the thing
and now we've got Tales of the Empire coming up.
I know. Oh my God, that's gonna be so awesome. But with Rebels, the biggest thing that in case you can't tell, I like connecting the dots. I like kind of making the full story coming full circle.
Oh yeah.
And with Rebels, we got that because not only did we get, we got the new characters, Cain and Ezra, and the connective tissue between Revenge of the Sith to Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
To New Hope, okay? Mm-hmm. We got that connective cartilage finally sewn into place, and the fact that we actually see, once again, when I saw Ahsoka, and it was like, but then seeing Ahsoka
you tied all that in, and you started, as I already mentioned, you
mm-hmm.
tied in some of the extended universe from the novels into there too,
yep.
and making some of that canon, which is, again, to me, and this is why I'll let you have your say in just a moment as well. Okay. But when you get to the extended stuff like that, that's why it's my favorites. Because to this point and to this day, out of all the books that I've read in Star Wars series and even some of the shows, it is still the one that I felt has been the closest.
No, I agree.
And
I totally agree.
Being able to recapture those characters and that essence. So that's why I always appreciated and enjoyed it.
No, I totally agree. And like I said, once again, I'm not, I don't want to concentrate on the Vader, Darth Maul, all these legacy characters that eventually did show up in it, because I don't want to take away from the characters that were created for the show. Right. Ahsoka, not Ahsoka Tano, but Bo-Katan, the whole thing with the dark saber, and then seeing that in the Mandalorian, that was
really cool.
That payoff there. But no, like I said, it was really good storytelling. And like I said, I think it connected the separated worlds beautifully. And so I dug that for that reason. And yes, who'd have thought that a cartoon show would have such deep, man. So that was good. Oh, but I thought. But
what is yours though?
Rebels.
It is Rebels.
Yeah, okay. Rebels with a little bit of Jedi, of Jedi tales in there. Well, no, because originally I was confusing.
You got to choose one, man.
But no, I was confusing series. But when you said series, for some reason it popped in my head both Obi-Wan and Rebels. But then, we separated them, so that's why that took out as well. But the Jedi tales, I would say there's 1 or 2 episodes in there that I was just like, damn, But still,
so definitely some neat stuff in there. Definitely check those out. And the last one, the questions here for you.
Yes.
Piece of the extended Star Wars universe, whatever it may be. What is yours? What is the big thing that stands out to you?
Personally, I liked. It's a video game.
Okay.
Because there's a crap ton of Star Wars video games, but.
I think I know where you're going with this one.
Let's see. Which one do you think it is? Let's see if you can read me.
If I can read you?
Which one do you think it is?
I'm trying to remember which one it was. It's the one where you ended up naming your son from.
That is one of them, yeah. No.
So it's not that one?
No, I didn't. That's not where his name came from, but that is one of my favorite ones, but it's not the favorite one.
Okay.
The favorite one is Force Unleashed, the original Force Unleashed.
Okay, so that's not the one I thought then.
So the story behind it, plus to make it, that one's kind of a combo, because one, there's a story that I liked, I dug with it, but there's also then the gamer in me, which the things you could do finally.
Which one was the one I was thinking of? Was it Jedi Knights, Jedi Order?
Yeah, it was Jedi Knights
like
2.
Okay.
No, Jedi Outcasts. It was where you were training as a new Jedi.
Right.
But it's the sequel to Jedi Outcast.
That's what. Didn't you play it on like GameCube or something like that?
Yep. Well, they had it on. First was PC.
All right.
Then they ported it to
I'm talking
Xbox.
about you.
No, I had it on GameCube.
Your main thing was on GameCube.
It's awesome. But the Force Unleashed created a new character. As you start out playing as Vader. Okay. Already. When was it? It's between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. So he's already in the Vader suit and everything, and it starts out that he's searching for a Jedi hidden on planet. This is when they're doing Order 66 expanded, right?
Right.
So the Jedi that didn't get killed in the temple, now Vader is going and hunting them, and he kills this one Jedi, but then this little kid Force grabs Vader's lightsaber. And so then a bunch of stormtroopers come in and they're about to kill the kid. Vader kills the troopers, saving the kid, and then secretly taking the kid and raising him as his secret apprentice. His name is Starkiller.
Yeah, nice little reference out there. For those of you who don't know, that was one of the original names that George Lucas had planned in the series.
For Luke Skywalker. It was originally Luke Starkiller.
Correct. And the other one was Anakin Skywalker.
Correct. So, but I will say this: the thing with the game one as a video game was awesome because of the first time with the mechanics engine that came out with that. I think it was called Euphoria at the time. For the first time now, if you force choke the stormtrooper, you could literally throw him around and his body would react and flail like it actually should. So, kind of very similar to Grand Theft Auto Part 4 when they actually incorporated that same engine in 4, and then same thing in 5. When you hit like a street light at 120 miles an hour, what's going to happen? You get ejected and you're like, bam, 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 bam. That engine was created around that time. So LucasArts, used it with that game system.
It's a good distinction.
It was a great, definitely a distinction. But more than that, the voice actor who played him, I cannot remember his name, and it's a shame because he is a major person in the Star Wars world. He was also in Smallville. He played the character Davis Bloom in Smallville, who was also Doomsday in Smallville. Big thing. He was also in the show where vampire, werewolf, and ghost live in the same place. Being human. So he was in the Americanized version. He was the vampire.
Yes.
Okay. His name escapes me, and I apologize.
I know you're talking about.
Okay, what's his name?
I did say I don't remember his
I
name.
feel bad now. But anyway.
It's really bad because he's voiced so many people, including Darth Maul.
I was just going to get
And God.
And he's a major Star Wars buff too. Not even just for the fact that he's an actor in it, but he there's been times where he's actually had to correct some of the script supervisors, But this was established here.
True story.
Yeah, exactly. So
he's very much involved and very much in the know, and really cool guy.
In current Star Wars,
and sadly, I feel really bad that I can't remember his name right now. That's so pathetic.
I know.
I'm ashamed of myself, really.
But dude, like I said, the cool thing is that in the video game Force Unleashed, not only does he voice it, the character's physical appearance is modeled after him. So it's his face, in video game. But no, I love the video game, and like I said, to your point, you already mentioned it, that he's voiced so many people in the Star Wars universe, especially Darth Maul.
Yes.
I'm sorry, in Clone Wars, and Rebels, because
that's right.
I don't want to remember, but Rebels, we did get that.
No more spoilers.
We did get that little Feeny.
Yeah.
So, but
tied up a little knot there.
Just a little bit, yes. But no, as far as the expanded Star Wars stuff, I'd say throwing out the video games Force Unleashed, I thought it was a really cool concept. And one of the alternate endings, which I'm not going to spoil it, would have changed the course of the Star Wars world, which is why it's considered an alternate, because it's not what happened. We know
of course. But good stuff, man. All right, so since we're going to get to the end of Star Wars here, we're about to wrap this up.
Yes.
And technically on you, we'll come back to me in a second. Is there anything else that you can think of that you have seen that you want to throw out an honorable mention or comment on, or something that you want to see and pray that it's coming?
Honorable mention would be Rogue One, because that was probably that was for the first real gamble on doing an expanded universe cinematic movie between the movies, kind of thing. It wasn't a full on sequel or anything. It was actually not a sequel or prequel. It was like an add-in. But I give it an honorable mention because the fact that, one, I enjoyed the movie. I know it's got some mixed reviews, but most people seem to enjoy it. I enjoyed the movie for what it was. I also am just in awe that they took, ultimately, a one-liner from the original New Hope.
Yeah.
Near the end, where Mon Mothma is saying many spies and rebels and people gave their lives to getting these plans, and to take that one liner and turn it into
An entire
movie like it did, and for it to hit like it did. I mean, there was not one bad acting
But even
job
little things that they dropped in there, like the empty seat at the table
Yep.
when Grandma Tark comes in and is talking to everybody.
Yep.
You know why that seat's empty now.
Exactly.
You know, that's little things like that were really cool.
Definitely.
For me, it's what I want to see. I mean, there's a lot of really good things, and honestly, if you're a Star Wars fan, there's not much that you can really go wrong with. You can find enjoyment in all of it in some way. But for me, I just want to see an actual continuation of Star Wars story somehow, whether it's early prequels, late sequels, whatever it may be, that continue that universe but feel connected in a way.
Yes.
I think we've gotten a mixed bag so far, nothing that has felt right. I want that one that feels right. I want that one that has that essence and captures everything about Star Wars that I fell in love with as a kid and is still a part of my life today. Is I want to feel that continuation. I want to feel that next thing. I want to have that something that truly sticks out for my kids and was able to resonate with them the same way it did with me.
What about you guys? We're keeping it to Star Wars in this one because, like I said, it is May the 4th weekend.
That's
obviously.
right.
But what is something, to your point, something you either wanted to see, something new, something you want to see old, something you want to put in the middle of it? What is something that you would like to see in Star Wars? Put that in the comments. Let us know. Like, subscribe, obviously. But one thing I throw out there because I dig on that is I've already mentioned it to you, kind of an idea, but I'm not going to give out the whole idea. But I want. Speaking of the redemption thing still, I want to see more of Hayden Christensen's Anakin in some form or fashion in these new series. Like, I loved seeing him as the ghost or the dream, whatever, the memory, whatever it was in Ahsoka. I would love to see more Hayden Christensen Anakin somehow. Whether it is a flashback, whatever it is, I want more.
I'm with you on that, but I want to see more of that continued transformation.
Yes.
From Anakin, the conflicted boy that turned to the dark side, but his true delving into it, the real twisting and turning, and the true building of what became the presence.
Yes,
of the sheer evil and fear presence of Vader. That's what I want to see.
And the beauty of it is they've already laid down the crumbs because between Phantom Menace, we'll be watching your career with great interest.
Yeah.
To Episode 2. Obi-Wan already makes a comment about how often Anakin is friendly with Palpatine. And then Revenge of the Sith, where we obviously see a deep friendship between the two, or so we thought.
And manipulation.
Exactly. So there is a perfect idea to get more Hayden Christensen Anakin, and like you said, to see that happen.
Taking it from there, and you're just building on it, continuing it, and that's, like I said, that's what I would want to see. You do that and do that right, because Obi-Wan did offer a little bit of redemption there.
Yes.
But
I think it's
the one thing that I can't stand is I'm just going to refer to it as the O. The no.
Yes, I know.
I can't. I need that almost erased from my memory and replaced with something that makes sense, please.
Well, talk to what's, never mind. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there.
I'm not going to talk there. Any of them, I'm going to ask Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, who've become great caretakers of the series, please fix this. Make this happen for us.
Do it now.
You brought Arnold into a Star Wars conversation?
Can you imagine Arnold as a Jedi? May the Force be with you. Do it.
No.
Force choke. No.
You're still trying. Stop it. I'm not doing Arnold.
I'll stop.
Let it go.
I'll stop. But no, let us know what you think. Comments, like, subscribe. Please subscribe and like. Whatever order you want, just do it.
But as you said, sound off in the comments below. Let us know what you think. Give us some of your opinions and ideas. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there. I've talked to a lot of people and read a lot of things, so I'm sure you guys all have your own. Yeah. Let us know what they are. We love seeing it and reading it.
Now,
thank you.
We're going to go get a cup of coffee at Circa, because that's where we're at, and it's awesome. You know what? I'm going to get one of those, what's it called, Frappuccino?
Mm-hmm.
One of those Chino things. Yeah. I'm gonna get a iced frappuccino.
Oh,
That's what I'm gonna get.
we're gonna educate you eventually. I promise.
Yes, I love everybody.
Anyway,
I'm that friend that when they talk about coffee, I'm like, hey, it's coffee, water, roast, and milk, and they're done.
Look, we're calling it happening here.
Yes.
Please be kind. Rewind and
Make it a blockbuster night.
wow, what a difference.